I've come to believe that the dolphin is not more intelligent or less intelligent. They're simply different. Intelligence is a man-made concept. It's really about consciousness. Dolphins are self-aware, like humans are self-aware. That is to say, they look in the mirror and they know what they're looking at. That reason alone is reason enough to stop capturing them.
Previously on Blood Dolphins. For dolphin activist Rick O'Barry and his son Lincoln, a vital mission to the Solomon Islands has become a twisted, convoluted affair.
Dolphins bring out the best and the worst in people.
As a country where both live dolphin export and dolphin hunting are legal, the Solomons has emerged as a major crossroads for the blood trade in dolphins. And this man, dolphin exporter Chris Porter, is at the center of it. For years, he was the nemesis of dolphin activists.
Like the rest of the people in the world, just blame Chris Porter about dolphins. Anything wrong with dolphins, Chris Porter did. That's fine. But Chris Porter's trying to change it.
Today, Porter says he is prepared to give up his export business and set free a pod of 17 dolphins he currently holds captive.
Well, I don't know what his plan is. If he really wants to free them, I'll help him. But he's still a dolphin dealer.
Porter's turnabout has given Rick a new foothold in the Solomons, a place where some of the indigenous people kill dolphins for their meat and their teeth, as well as capture them for the dealers.
That's Malaita, the homeland, the land of dolphins.
For months, Rick's partners at Earth Island Institute have been negotiating a hunting moratorium with one of the primary dolphin villages on the island of Malaita. But before finalizing the agreement, Rick and Lincoln must navigate a surreal cultural landscape where nothing is ever as it seems.
I've never in all my travels seen any place like this. Everyone will give you a different story about the same incident.
There's a lot of tension, a lot of stress when you're doing this stuff because there are people trying to stop you from doing this.
Now, Rick and his core film team, his son Lincoln, still photographer Kate Tomlinson, and underwater cinematographer Pete Zuccarini have arrived at the mission's turning point. The fate of wild dolphins in the Solomon Islands could be decided by the showdowns to come. First at the dolphin hunting villages, and then with the dolphin dealer himself, Chris Porter.
It's not a game, it's not a TV show. It's friggin' reality.
He's a guy who's paddled too far up the river.
When I first came to the Solomon Islands, this was a country that was killing dolphins. They've been hunting dolphins for hundreds of years, and dolphin hunting was a traditional way of life. I've been training marine mammals for 21 years, and I don't view myself as a dolphin dealer. I viewed myself as coming to a country that was in a lot of trouble, and they were killing dolphins. And it didn't make sense to me as a trainer that they would kill dolphins for $20 when dolphins were worth so much money. Dolphins are worth more than gold now. So I wanted to provide the people an alternative. Try to educate them that they are intelligent animals, that they are more than just a fish, and teach them to enjoy the dolphins as I do.
Though a summit meeting with Chris Porter is what launched the Solomons mission, it isn't Rick O'Barry's only priority. Before meeting with Porter, Rick will journey to a place he's never been before, the island of Malaita, where most of the dolphin hunting now occurs. The first target is Batama, which Lincoln had visited during his recon of the islands. It is one of two major dolphin hunting villages on Malaita. Earth Island is already negotiating with the other. Planning the trip seems easy enough. Just set a date and charter a boat.
It's very sturdy but stable.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it worked for me.
But the day before departure, the trip is mysteriously torpedoed. First, the boat's owner abruptly cancels without explanation. Then, an unmarked package is delivered to Rick's hotel room.
I didn't know anybody knew I was here. Somebody knocked on the door and handed me an envelope and took off. I didn't even see their face. We, the representatives of the dolphin catching, harvesting community, oh man, wish to advise Rick O'Barry, Mark Berman, and their film crew that you are not wanted or welcome in any of our communities. I have to find out who these chiefs are that signed this. He's got it signed by a lot of chiefs.
Member of Parliament, Member of Parliament, Member of Parliament, Authority for Batama.
Looks like they got ahead of us and cut us off at the pass.
People in all our communities have been advised to be vigilant against these groups and stop them filming our culture and tradition. Criminal and terroristic behavior.
Oh, it's propaganda. They're just trying to, they're trying to discredit us.
It's really something that's supposed to scare us off. But we don't scare so easy. We're going to Malaita.
The team scrambles to find alternate transportation, but the word is out. Rick O'Barry's in town.
We got big problems. We kind of hit a brick wall here, too. O'Barry, O-B-A-R-R-Y.
By now, the letter has been leaked to the press, and at every turn, it's the same story.
Well, all the boats, every boat we've asked about, everything seems to fall through at the last minute, and you can't tell if people are scared of coming with us or scared of going to Malaita.
With their options dwindling, Rick and Lincoln try their luck at a local airstrip.
There may be some issue that will stop us from landing there, so a couple of the places.
Well, it's pretty frustrating. We seem to be blocked everywhere we go. At least preventing us from getting in boats, helicopters. We'll see what happens.
What happens is another odd Solomon's moment, courtesy of a man named Emmanuel Tigi, who happens to be a dolphin priest in Batama.
This guy just shows up at the airport, out of nowhere, and took charge.
Yes, me, Emmanuel Tigi, Chief Shepherd of the Batama.
Emmanuel believes the letter is a setup, possibly orchestrated by a local dolphin dealer.
Emmanuel looked at the letter and told me he didn't sign it. His name was on the letter. But in fact, he was given a blank piece of paper to sign.
With Emmanuel's help, clearance to land on the island is granted.
Full tribes, everyone full happy and me now, but pilot. Yep. Well, and I already called to home with the paramount chiefs and tribal people of the village. They invite us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rick's mission to Batama is about more than fact-finding. As a representative of Earth Island Institute, he's been empowered to discuss the offer of modest financial grants to the village in exchange for a hunting moratorium.
The best solution is to find sustainable alternatives. These folks need jobs. And if we can create jobs for them, it's probably the best way to shut down this dolphin slaughter.
We're really honored and happy for your arrival today. We've been waiting so long, looking forward for your coming. This is a simple token of appreciation, giving you just a drink.
Yeah.
But after all, we are all happy at your arrival.
Excellent. Thank you. There you go. Cheers.
That was more than just a drink. That was a symbol. That was, yes, you're welcome here.
Well, thank you so much for receiving us. We're very happy to be here. We wanted to come here for a long time, several years, and we are finally here. And we mainly came to listen, not to tell anybody what to do. We're not going to make promises that we can't keep.
After the welcome, Rick has an opportunity to listen to the villagers talk about their lives and their problems.
Less than $5 a day, yes.
So we're trying to figure out how to help you to make money other ways than capturing, killing dolphins.
But Rick never expects to hear a new revelation. When Chris Porter first arrived in the islands, Batama was no longer hunting dolphins, even though other villages were. Michael Toling Curio is Emmanuel Tigi's brother.
How long did dolphin hunting stop in this village?
We have been stopped for about 20 years.
And when did it start up again?
It started up again when Chris Porter introduced live dolphin export in Solomon Island. That was in 2003.
Chris Porter says that he came here because he heard there was a slaughter and he thought if he could export a few, he could end the slaughter. But in fact, it's quite the opposite.
Porter showed up waving money under their nose. Desperate people looking for money. And that's why they started killing dolphins again. So when he says the live exports as an alternative to killing them, it's nonsense.
Rick O'Barry's mission to the village of Batama has been a roller coaster ride from the beginning. The news that Chris Porter's live dolphin exports helped revive the dolphin hunting tradition in Batama has cast a shadow over Rick's hopes of brokering a hunting moratorium. But nothing has prepared Rick for the bizarre turn that's coming. At a final open meeting, Emmanuel Tigi, the dolphin priest who paved the way for Rick's visit, takes center stage with his own proposal to stop the hunt.
Rick O'Barry, we wish to inform your respected office. If the Earth Islanders still have to stop us from our custom and cultural traditional hunting and calling of dolphins, it will be cost $12 million a year. If that institute can release $12 million $1 million 1 month by 12 months a year until the sun goes down, the people will be agreed.
That was encouraging when I first met Emmanuel because he wanted to cooperate. He first approached us and wanted to stop killing dolphins, but on stage he became this other character.
Together with how much billions of people now, save my people, they are poor as a poor.
Oh, $12 million. I'm lost for words, actually. Earth Island Institute is an environmental group. It's not the World Bank. I don't know where we are now with this. We will continue talking about this and figure out a realistic number. And although we are leaving here today, we are taking you with us in our heart. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
$12 million. Jeez. Yeah, I felt a little bit ambushed there. Yeah. It's not realistic. We're looking for realistic solutions to the problem, and there may not be one. It's not like we have a magic wand and we can fix everything. Yeah. The things we can fix, we will.
Do you think what you asked is realistic?
It's realistic. It's realistic. Very small. Because Batama Harbor is a king place of dolphin in the whole earth. And if the O'Barry do not meet $12 million a year, we slaughter the dolphin of the whole earth.
The visit to Batama is a bitter pill for Rick and Lincoln. But there's little time to agonize. Another confrontation is on the horizon. In anticipation of his meeting with Rick, dolphin dealer Chris Porter has made his own pilgrimage to a village near his Gavutu Island dolphin operation. He's here to reassure the villagers that he has not betrayed them by quitting the trade and preparing to free his dolphin pod.
Thank you so much for letting me in your community. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for believing in the project. And please don't listen to stories that me close, that me run away, that me stop. Hard for me stop here. You fella family little me now too. So today is a big meeting, a reconciliation. Me hope reconciliation. One man who stopped me for a long time. 9 years him spoil him name lo me. 9 years him try stop this project. Now him come to the island to sit down with me and talk. But the one thing me bring for the meeting is only I will listen his answer how he will benefit all of you. How he will benefit all the people of the Solomon Islands. Not only just the dolphin, but you fella as well. Me hope that you sabe that all the time me fight for you fella. Thank you very much.
They're worried, but they give me a lot of trust. They put that trust and faith in me that I will be working for them. Dolphins are more important to communities than any kind of resource in the Solomon Islands right now because of its high value, because of its high exposure, and because of its attention. I invited Rick O'Berry many times to come and learn about the dolphin hunting communities and understand why they hunt and understand why export would provide so much better alternative than simply doing nothing.
How do I feel about meeting Christopher Porter again after all this time? In some way, it makes me angry. That's the first emotion.
But look, people can change. You know, he wants to be on the right side of history, I think, and he sees the handwriting on the wall. He's a guy who lives with a lot of conflict. You know, he's playing this game in his head. We're not playing any games here.
For dolphin activist Rick O'Berry, today marks a critical stage in his mission to the Solomon Islands. He and his team, now bolstered by underwater cinematographer Pete Zuccarini, are about to enter the Lion's Den, the island enclave of Rick's longtime adversary, Chris Porter.
I came here to get some facts to bring home with me because I'm getting questions from all over the world. People in the marine mammal protection community want to know, is this something we should be involved in? And they're looking to me for those answers. They're not asking Chris. Most of them think this is a profit-making enterprise. It's important to release these 17 dolphins. It's not important who does it. I'm going to stay focused on that. Keep the personalities out of it. Hello.
Hi, Rick.
Hey.
Welcome to Dolphins Paradise. Nice that you can make it.
Thank you. It's beautiful out here.
Small bit of paradise. How is Malaita?
Oh, it's a lot of conflict. A lot of conflict.
Yeah.
Not unlike the villagers in Batama, Porter is looking to Rick and Earth Island Institute to support his efforts to free his dolphin pod.
So this is the 17.
Yeah. The pod.
Why don't you just do it?
Because it needs to be a success. It's like what I told your son. I do things to win. I don't do it to do it. I didn't export dolphins just to export dolphins. I exported dolphins because I really felt it was a live alternative.
An alternative to what?
To killing them.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I just came from a village that hadn't captured dolphins in 20 years until you showed up, and they saw dollar signs, and then they started capturing them.
The tradition is a little older than Chris Porter.
He's very vague about everything. Basically, his message is, send money, don't ask questions. And that's not realistic. Credibility is something one has to earn, and he hasn't done that yet.
Do you think it's realistic to release the animals?
Absolutely, I think it's realistic.
Okay, then that's where we're at. That's good.
That's why I sent you the protocol. And the first step is to make sure that when they enter this bay out here, that the licensed dolphin dealers who are in the area don't grab them. Yeah. So let's talk about how to do that. What does that cost?
I don't know. That's why I'm still trying to get... You're the first one who's come to the island to say they're interested after 3 months. No one's come. You have experience.
Well, they don't trust you. That's why they're contacting me and asking me, what do you think?
Hoping to gauge Porter's commitment, Rick broaches the subject of the Honiara dolphins. The living conditions of those dolphins were covertly documented by Lincoln during his recon of the islands. In Rick's mind, Porter's export activities paved the way for abusive practices by other, less scrupulous dealers.
It's hard for me to turn my back on the emergency and pretend those dolphins are not suffering every day.
It's hard for me too, but I want to do it, negotiate in a way that it would actually work. In Solomon, it's a different nature here. It's a cultural thing, it's a social thing.
They're not doing as well as these. They're in dire straits. I don't know if you've seen them. Do you feel responsible for these dolphins? There was no industry here of captive dolphins before you showed up in the Solomon Islands.
Yeah, it's opened up a huge Pandora's box, the export of dolphins.
When I look at these dolphins, I see Chris Porter's fingerprint on that. It's the worst facility I've seen in my life. And I'm asking Porter to comment on it. He said, I don't want to make a comment. He really wants to be all things to all people.
You don't trust me because I created an industry of export. But maybe that's why Chris Porter's freeing the pod and challenging everyone. Maybe Chris Porter said, you know what, this thing's gone out of control. No one's going to come together and sit and work on a better solution.
Well, if we had a magic wand, we would move these dolphins today into your facility where they can at least start a healing process. He seemed to be very apathetic. If he wants to save dolphins, that's the first place to start, right there.
He wants me to jump through a hoop and then maybe he'll help us. But in the meantime, we'll struggle ourselves and let these ones go. It's fine. This isn't a game, and people love making it a game. It's not a game, it's not a TV show. It's friggin' reality. And that's the reality, the 17 dolphins in the pool. I already laid down my arms and came to the table, and he wants me to jump through some more hoops, so I'll go find my burning hoop and jump through it. Just like old dolphins in Flipper. He wants me to jump through a hoop and then maybe he'll help us. But in the meantime, we'll struggle ourselves and let these ones go. It's fine. This isn't a game, and people love making it a game. It's not a game, it's not a TV show. It's friggin' reality.
An air of tension and mistrust has settled over Rick O'Barry's face-off with dolphin dealer Chris Porter. After a brief cool-down period, the discussion resumes at the sea pen where Porter keeps his dolphins.
What is the significance of the teeth around your neck?
The teeth?
Yeah.
The longest time I didn't want to wear the teeth because I thought it was counterproductive to what I was doing. But I've been given teeth as presents, and it's pride and it's memory of the dolphins. Because they opened up their culture enough to present me with something that's important in their culture, I feel that it's right to wear it.
He has serious credibility issues. Just because you make a statement that there's something wrong with captivity doesn't give you instant credibility. You have to actually do something.
Do you want to feed?
No, thanks. I'll watch.
Hey, nice. Must take him out of their bucket.
They look pretty hungry. I think they could use more fish. I think that they're underweight, all of them.
Well, we had a cyclone, and we went through a fish shortage here. We were asking Earth Island for help with fish. We are monitoring, and that's why we always count the number of dolphins when we feed them.
Henny, how many dolphins are there? Count again, 3, 5, 7. Grace?
I think that it's very expensive to feed them. It's a very expensive operation. I don't think they can afford to feed them properly. I mean, that says it all. I find it very depressing here. I don't know if you saw the movie Apocalypse Now, but Chris reminds me of Marlon Brando in Apocalypse Now. He's a guy who's paddled too far up the river in this strange place.
Have I gone too far up the river? If you share other people's cultures and you've gone up too far the river, then I'm right at the mouth, right at the head of the river, right in where all the creeks converge, right where the grizzlies eat the salmon. I'm as deep as it gets then. You must share culture if you're going to choose to help a culture.
The summit ends with a commitment to help feed Porter's dolphins, but no agreement on their release or on the rescue of the Honiara dolphins.
I think we're through.
With the talks at a stalemate, Rick must move on to the final stage of his mission, ironing out the details of a hunting moratorium at the village of Fanalay. But Rick isn't quite ready to give up on Porter, who has invited the rest of the team to stay on another day. Rick endorses the proposal, sensing an opportunity to mend fences. That afternoon, an impromptu swim with cameraman Pete Zuccarini helps ease the lingering tension.
I genuinely sympathize with the situation that you're in. I feel like you're a rogue now. The industry thinks you're an activist.
Yeah.
We, as people who want to free dolphins, don't trust you because you are dealing in dolphins.
You know what I've done? I've opened the door where Rick O'Berry feels comfortable enough to land his helicopter on the island.
Well, I see that as a movement in the right direction.
That's what I mean. That's what I've done. That's the openness that had to occur.
Nico, come back.
The next morning, Chris takes the team out for a boating excursion before they leave Gavutu to join Rick. Within minutes, they're surrounded by wild dolphins.
They're everywhere.
If you want to see dolphins, you got to go where the dolphins are and see dolphins in the wild. Because a dolphin in an aquarium is not displaying any behaviors that a wild dolphin's going to display.
Got it. Yeah. Oh man, that was good.
At Chris Porter's place, you saw they were just lying with their heads above water all day long. These dolphins are out here feeding. A boat comes by, they go over and play with it. I mean, this is the life of a dolphin.
As the dolphins move on, the team heads back to shore. Chris Porter seems deeply impacted by the experience. Once again, he opens up to Pete Zuccarini.
You ever wonder how a dolphin dies in the wild? I had one die in my arms, and she, I swear to God, she looked up. I swear to God, that was that last, and I took her down to see if she would breathe again, because you can sometimes get another, that instinctive life, and but she didn't. And I already knew she was gone, but you could still feel her heart. And it was like as if you were holding your grandma, And but I couldn't. You know why I couldn't hold my grandma when she died? Because I was here fighting to export.
I think he allowed himself to accept how daunting his future is. He clearly has gone from being the dolphin dealer to being someone who doesn't feel comfortable trading in dolphin lives anymore. But he doesn't seem 100% resolved yet.
But that's why I'm trying to fix it. I'm trying to balance it all and get it all just back to where it was.
He's in a very hard place. And I think it's all just happening really fast for him.
After 2 weeks, Rick O'Barry's mission to the Solomons has been marked by one disappointment after another. From the Haniara dolphins he was unable to rescue, to the unrealistic financial demands at Batama, to the breakdown of his summit with dolphin dealer Chris Porter. Now Rick has one last shot at success. The dolphin hunting village of Fanalei lies at the opposite end of Malaita Island from Batama. Even though Earth Island is close to reaching an agreement with the village to stop the hunt, Rick has no idea what to expect. Just 2 days ago, the villagers had slaughtered at least 100 dolphins.
We thought we were going into harm's way, to be perfectly frank. We were told, don't go there. You're going to be met with resistance. But it pays to show up. Turned out we were met with flowers.
Rick has arrived in Fanalei with Mark Berman of Earth Island Institute and local activist Lawrence McKilley. It was Lawrence who served as a guide during the first days of Lincoln's recon mission. An old friend of Rick's, Lawrence has been the point man for Earth Island's negotiations with the village. The proposal lays out specific incentives to help create jobs and income as an alternative to dolphin hunting. Hopes are high that Fanalei will be more receptive than Batama.
I'm the director from Earth Island. That's from the base office in USA, and I'm here to work with you on some common ground.
Earth Island will launch a campaign to raise the money to subsidize the hunt, if you will. Just because something is cultural or traditional doesn't mean it's okay to continue. Times change and people change.
Just after noon, Lincoln and the rest of the team arrive from Chris Porter's enclave on Gavutu Island.
Hey! How was the ride? It was long and hard. Salty.
Arriving there, it was really an intense feeling because, you've been on this long, pounding boat ride, and you finally get to the shore, and I jumped off onto the beach, and I looked down, and I realized I'm standing on a dolphin skull and a bunch of vertebrae, and the vertebrae was literally coming up between my toes. And I look at the beach and I realize it's just littered with hundreds of years of dolphin bones.
Okay, guys, follow me.
It's hard. I mean, sometimes my dad and I, growing up and working with him, we would spend years just to rescue one dolphin, a single lone dolphin from captivity, spend all our effort, and then you come to a place where dolphins were just slaughtered on the beach and they're in ovens being cooked all around us. I mean, every hut had a fire coming out of it and it was all dolphin meat.
I was with Rick and we were walking down the beach, and he just started picking up dolphin bones. He picked up one, and he picked up another one, and he picked up another one, and he had like a whole handful. And there was a couple of kids that were there on the beach as well, the little boys. And they helped us pick up jawbones. They came laughing across, holding these jawbones to give to Rick, and he was like, oh, thank you, and, what can you say? It was pretty sad.
Late that afternoon, the people of Fanalei and the nearby village of Wolende gather to debate Earth Island's proposal. The meeting is moderated by Lawrence McKilley.
Within the hunt itself, there are certain values that has to be considered. So we have to be careful on how we deal with the issue. I do not want us to be responsible in any of the laws of the practices of the culture. The importance must story with the Mifala where Ifala Staplo village, Ifalna actually involved in this activity. Any question you have, elaborate to him, please.
One of the elders from this village, he made an objection about your coming, said that you don't try to listen to anybody. He has the foresight of seeing things between modernization and culture and custom. He must have the foresight. The answer is with him.
It's not for me to judge what they do with their culture. I'm not here to judge. If they're looking for an alternative, we're here to support that effort.
About culture, the one me believe culture is changing according to time.
No more, 5,000 yeah. Long every day now, yeah. Me record him. Long recording. Me not take him record long. That time me no them hunt now. Me not like him hunting because me look him stuck and enemy and float about. Long sea. Oh, got no fit for killing. Kaiken. And meeting him. Oh, got a crew well through now. Me falaya. So this one, you know, meeting him, I say no more. He will stop from this one. God's nature, he may have to kill on him.
Like it is different. We're not going to sign it.
Let's see if they all agree.
We want to respond from this video.
Let's hear from the people that really are on target. Okay?
Para uriwan le, ang signing lang le. At Allen Street, they agree for funding for 2 years. All minim. They more converting kan dikatakan na, ang milyon na. Para alurian na. Kala buira, ne?
They know the dolphin hunt's in now, right now.
That's what I tell. I say it's from today onward, no more hunt.
Okay, is anybody here present not in agreement with this? They should write.
Dia mulle, ne? Mantalang si Janua. Le kung stop na tarin nila kung sign ng dokumente. Pana lang na oklayasi.
Is anybody here present not in agreement with this? They should write.
Dia mulle, ne? Mantalang si Janua. Le kung stop na tarin nila kung sign ng dokumente.
It was actually somewhat of a tense moment. You could tell there was a lot of questions in the village, and change is not an easy thing sometimes, and people resist and are scared of changing.
In the end, Fanale and Walende do vote for change. When no one objects, the official signing begins.
Thank you.
That's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Most of our victories are far and few between and usually temporary.
Just had a moment there.
Yeah, well, it's amazing this happened. I mean, when you think about it, all the dolphins that are out there right now as we speak, that would have been in jeopardy tomorrow morning, are protected, are safe. That's amazing.
Even right after the agreement was signed, I still saw a lot of people talking under huts and just a lot seemed unsure. But the following morning when we woke up, I saw just across all the faces in the village, in their eyes, you just saw hope. A new world had basically been opened up to them.
As if on cue, nature signals its agreement. A pod of dolphins appears just offshore.
We were told not to go to Fanale because we would not be welcome. We went anyhow, and it really paid off big time. Look at this. New dolphin deal. Villagers agree to stop harvesting dolphins. Front page.
And there's other news coming. Back in Honiara, Michael Toling Kirio pays Rick a surprise visit.
What you have done with other communities, my communities like Fanale, that's what we're really happy to have it with us too.
Oh, wow. Well, that's very surprising. I thought I had to come up with $12 million. I don't have $12 million.
Anxious or this emotional words. We want dolphin to survive and you get the life.
Great.
Yes.
You have to start somewhere. We can't fix everything. We're just, a few guys. The best way to bring about change for the common good is by example. Hopefully positive publicity to start getting around on the wire services, and I think all the dolphin dealers will start running for cover. At least I hope so.
You can see their marks, their dorsal fins.